In a previous video that I did on the COVID pass, it was made clear that there is 50 million COVID passes on its way to 15 different nations. And in that video, we specified that South Africa would be one of the nations receiving these COVID passes. One thing that the company that manufactures the COVID pass made clear was that the COVID pass had to be rolled out to everybody. If you don't have 100% of people receiving this COVID pass, which is a pass for COVID-19, and we will get into the detail of that just now, then this program will not work. So all the countries that accept this program, they have full intention of rolling it out to every single citizen within their society, which will mean you, me, your children, your grandchildren, uncle, aunts, everyone that you know in the country will receive this COVID pass. Now, to understand what this COVID pass is, I actually went to their LinkedIn page where they quite rightly brag about their newfound devices and tests. And in the heading, it actually says there, COVID pass digital health passport, and it says, is a digital biometric passport built with patented technology, certified by, guess who? The United Nations. Now, the moment I hear the word United Nations, I hear New World Order stooges, because they are a New World Order agenda organization and a perfect front for the New World Order, and many of their auxiliary organizations like UNICEF, UNESCO, the World Health Organization are in cahoots with all their plans to roll out New World Order ideology, an ideology which I correctly oppose. And all of you can make up your own minds with regards to this COVID pass. But on their LinkedIn page, and I'll give you a link to this in the description underneath the video, so please subscribe to my channel and click the bell icon so you can receive this information. On their LinkedIn page, you will see that there are many pictures where they describe how their devices would work. So there's many posts that they've put up, and the last post that they did is what I want to discuss, and not just the post, but the hashtags that they have underneath this post. So before I actually look at the post, I want to read out the hashtags to you to show where this is going, because if you want to link up with what they are trying to do, the second last hashtag that they have is ID2020. Now, this is not something that I've discussed with you in detail in any one specific video, and I still will do that. And I want you to subscribe to Agenda 21 Truth South Africa, where these specific topics will be discussed in detail. Go to Justice Killian's channel. He's a specialist on this, and he will hash out the details of the COVID pass, specifically how it works, as well as ID 2020 for you. But looking at the big picture and the New World Order, this COVID pass is part of the New World Order plan to have all of us tracked, and nothing better than a pandemic to make this happen. So ID 2020 is already in there. By the end of 2020, this whole movement and organization wants to roll out ways for us to get digital IDs. In other words, in many African countries where people have to get a normal ID book or either an ID card, they're saying this is outdated, and many people struggle because of this. They need to give people digital identities. Now, if you don't have a cell phone to be your digital identity, then the only other option is a RFID, which is a radio frequency identifier, a chip that will be implanted in your hand or somewhere else that can be read or scanned to actually verify who and what you are and what your history is. But let's go through the other hashtags. Hashtag VCode, COVID pass, passport, digital ID, identity, authentication, digital identity, identity management, health passport, infinite possibilities, health matters, secure, protect, safe, biometric, then ID 2020, and protection. So everyone will tell you that this is for your protection, to keep you safe. The fact that you will be tracked wherever you go, you will be able to know that you are labeled, just like other people are labeled, as either green, amber, or red. If you are labeled green, then you don't have the SARS-CoV-2 virus. If you are amber, you could have been in close proximity of someone that has had the SARS-CoV-2 virus, and they consider a 2-meter distance as a transmittable distance due to coughing or sneezing or whatever the case may be. And I'm not talking about the science about this now, I'm speaking specifically about how they are looking at safely rolling this out and keeping you safe. Then they claim that if you have the SARS-CoV-2 virus, that you will be labeled as red. So if you have been labeled as SARS-CoV-2 positive and you are identified as red, if you get in close contact with anyone else, they will see this, and you'll just see people scattering from all around you if they actually believe that this is the way we should live. You might not actually know whether you are really positive, because this will be digitally done. So these tests that they are rolling out, these initial 50 million tests, and there will be an update on these tests in this piece that I'll look at just now. They said 50 million of these tests being rolled out to 15 different countries. The US and the UK is part of this. These tests are being manufactured, or the company that invented them and patented it, as I read just now, are from the United Kingdom. I'm not sure if it's actually manufactured there. It's quite possible. I haven't looked into that specifically. It could be manufactured in China like everything else. But here they're saying that the first 30 million will be shipped in the upcoming weeks ahead. Okay? And to date, almost 80 million passes have been requested. They are trying to prove that this is the best way to go to identify people during this crisis. But it will also become your identity. So it's being sold as a health passport. In other words, you will be able to go to a rugby or soccer game if you are green. If you're not green and you're amber, in other words, you might have been in contact with someone with SARS-CoV-2, or you're red, then you'll be restricted where you can go. Like you will be stamped like the Dompas of old, you know, or the Jewish people that were actually labeled and had things stuck onto them. Some of them were tattooed to say that you are marked, that you are now a Jew, or that you are a slave. I mean, many slaves were tattooed. Some of them actually got cut marks in their body. These horrible things that happened in the past to label people. Now, this will be a digital labeling of your health status. How sick is this in a world where they claim to be moving away from actually calling people something specific? Like I've mentioned before, they don't want to say that you're a boy or a girl anymore. No, you can't be identified as such. But here, you will be identified that you have got the SARS-CoV-2 virus. Who knows whether this test is actually accurate and whether it's not just digitally manipulated? Who knows? How can we trust this? I certainly don't. And looking at the rest of this, this is where the bragging rights start and where the fear-mongering starts. Yesterday, our COO flew out from Heathrow and was taken aback by the intermittent safety breaches to protect against the spread of COVID-19. So this is fear-mongering. So their COO went to Heathrow and he identified all of these flaws. He is now the expert, or she is now the expert in what should be done to track what is happening with COVID-19, or whether you're infected or not. Masks and sanitation were provided upon entry, with stations scattered throughout the terminal, alongside visual audible reminders. However, there were several contact points contradictory to the additional safety logic that can be fixed with barely any delays to travel, meaning their COVID pass. COVID pass is a biometric health pass that can be scanned based on permission from over 2 meters away. You see the 2 meter safe distance. It also holds test results status for on-departure arrival travel if testing is being offered to passengers. To date, almost 80 million passes have been requested. The first million will be shipped in the upcoming weeks ahead. and I'll keep you updated with that because some of those are coming to South Africa. COVIPass has also been tasked to audit the passengers' flow and come up with a solution for safe arrival for some of our customers. So they're allowing this private company now to actually look at the flow of passengers and come up with these solutions. If our country is looking for a technical solution for safe physical distancing in airports or buildings, COVIPass is the world's safest health access pass and is available today. Now, why if they call this a health access pass? Do they link this to ID2020? Do they link this to passport? Do they link this to digital ID? Do they link this to identity? Do they link this to authentication and many other hashtags? Identity management, health passport, infinite possibilities, health matters, secure, protect, safe, biometric. Think about the possibilities, people. As I've mentioned before, they will roll out a fast internet network throughout the world so that we can be tracked and monitored with these systems. Now, there are similar systems operating at the moment that the COVIPass company believes is grossly inferior, and they have found many faults with it, even said that people could hack into it and that it's not secure at all. So they are actually proving themselves that the systems that they're coming up with are open to hacking and changing people's identity, changing their statuses. So they are saying that this is patented and cannot be hacked. How can we trust this? Why would we trust these people when they have plans to literally mark you as a this or a that? You will be marked in 3 different ways. In another post, they say, we cannot share our excitement at Circle Pass HQ today. COVIPass now has orders for almost 8 million health passes spread across more than 20 countries. So it's now gone from 15 to 20 countries. Okay? One of our many differentiators is our ability to work with sanctioned physical distancing. They said the deck pass could be scanned up to 100 meters away. Even when you're walking or you are sideways, you can scan it. With no human touch needed at any point until authenticated. COVIPass can be scanned from over 2 meters away to validate safe access for return to work, travel and life to work, and live in the new normal, people. Understand, these people are trying to roll out a new world order ideology of creating a new normal. So you will hear all these stooges using this rhetoric, including our President Cyril Ramaphosa, the new normal. You won't kiss anymore, you won't hug anymore, you won't shake hands anymore. This, Cyril Ramaphosa said, is the new normal. Get used to it. Well, they can go fly a kite. It's that simple. They say our first passes roll out in airports, airlines, seaports, and across several governments in the coming weeks ahead. So in the coming weeks, they'll start rolling this out, okay? But they're saying this will validate safe access for return to work. So you can't return to work if you don't have this. To travel and life to work and life and living in the new normal. Absolute madness. We are also excited to announce our independently validated 100% specificity sensitivity test for low viral load for SARS-CoV-2. So they're saying that their test can actually test accurately even if you have very small loads of SARS-CoV-2 virus, which means it's more accurate than the other tests. With many new assays coming out, that is a milestone for us to offer these tests and passes to our customers. So they are linking you having a passport to travel and move around to SARS-CoV-2. So it's like this new virus has become a passport to people being monitored and tracked in a different way. And it's become an enabler for sure, as I've said before. Once a sample is taken, test results load automatically into COVIPass. And this is what I've mentioned before. This is digitally done, which means in my mind it can be manipulated. With their allocated timestamp until the pass alerts the user and organization they need to be tested again. One machine can carry out 56 tests per hour. Okay? So you're going to be tested. This machine is going to spit out the result. And then you are going to get marked with either green, amber, or red. Either on your phone or on an RFID, as I've dealt with in the previous article. And I want you to subscribe to this channel, click the bell icon to get updates on the COVID passes that will affect each and every one of our lives. We need to stand up against this now and be outspoken enough. I want you to share this video as far as you can. The link to this LinkedIn page will be in the video description. And I want you to understand that it's important that you share this with your friends and family. Everyone should know what is coming, and you decide whether you want to be monitored and tracked like this. And in the previous article, which link I will also put in the description and also in a tag at the top that you can just click on, you will be able to see that one of the options is not just your cell phone with an app, but an actual RFID that will be inserted probably into your hand, as I've seen many people do in many companies already. And they say, we are proud to be offering our combined solution throughout the world. So this is the first time that they're speaking out to say that this is a combo solution of testing and actually providing an ID. And the other thing is that this can become the ID of the future, because they see this as part of ID 2020. The whole ID 2020 ideology looks at a new digital way of identifying people. And the way they try and actually sell this to people is for all the poor and suffering people in Africa, that they will have access to an identification so they can get health care, etc. Now, why do you need an ID to get health care if people really care about you? Ask yourself that question. Ask yourself that question. Why should you have an ID when you arrive with a cut arm or with a head laceration at a hospital? You obviously need emergency care. Why must you have an ID to get treated if people care about you? If we don't ask these questions, we'll carry on like the robots that we've become. You can look at the rest of the posts in this article. I'll keep you updated with regards to COVID Pass the moment it lands in South Africa, the methods that they will use to roll this out. I know that COVID Pass will be linked up to many of the 5G networks that will be enabled throughout the country because it's faster internet. They want to be able to track people in real time. This is very important to the New World Order's ideal, to be able to track our every move, see exactly what we do, where we are. All this information will be stored in a database. Not just stored, will be checked. People will be monitored, not for the fact that they have SARS-CoV-2, but because of SARS-CoV-2. It was a brilliant plan, a brilliant strategy to get the entire world to allow themselves to be marked either green, amber, or red, whether it's on an app, whether it's on a chip that shows it on a scanner, you will be marked. And I want you to understand what this means. And I want you to share this post once again with your friends and family. Subscribe to this channel, click the bell icon. This is a serious fight. Because as I've said before, this is where I draw a line in the sand, where we will go over to a war of ideologies because of what these people are trying to do to us. And I want you to join me in this fight to stop them dead in their tracks. Thank you very much.